The United States House of Representatives now recognize Falun Gong are being persecuted by the Chinese Communist Party.
And that Falun Gong practitioners have been and probably are the main source of organs for forced organ harvesting.
We have a moral obligation. We're way beyond the point of just hoping this will end.
The Chinese Communist Party detained hundreds of thousands of Falun Gong practitioners.
There is no waiting list if you have money in China for organs. What does that mean? So it means there's a ready supply available. The supply is these practitioners of Falun Gong.
So, Congressman, thank you very much for introducing the bill 4132 and the great news it passed today. Can you tell us the significance of passing this bill?
The significance, and thank you, Sean Lin, a great friend and a great friend to the people of China that want to be free. But the significance of the bill says that the United States House of Representatives now recognizes that Falun Gong, particularly, and that we named it the Falun Gong Protection Act, are being persecuted by the Chinese Communist Party in the worst, as you know, the worst way possible. Not only torture and murder, but literally stealing their organs from them and selling them on the open market. And so this would have the United States of America officially, through the United States Congress, legislature, hopefully we can get a presidential signature, acknowledge that this is happening so that we can start doing something about it.
So based on the recent investigation report by Uphold Justice, they mentioned even after the COVID and during COVID, the Chinese Communist Party didn't stop the organ harvesting. Even during the COVID, supposed to restriction, many things slowed down, but the organ harvest haven't slowed down. So what do you think the U.S. government should do besides, the sanctions?
Well, certainly sanction anybody that's involved, right? We want to end this, but I think we're way beyond the point of just hoping this will end, hoping someone else will do it, hoping someone else will investigate it. We have a moral obligation, especially because we have business relationships, we have trade relationships with China. How can you have a relationship with somebody by day who by night, on Tuesday we're meeting talking about buying steel, on Thursday you're killing people and taking their organs and selling them around the world. Sean, as you know, and maybe people you don't know this, but there is no waiting list if you have money in China for organs. What does that mean? So it means there's a ready supply available. The supply is these practitioners of Falun Gong.
So what kind of message do you think this bill will deliver to Chinese people inside there? Because their organs actually at risk.
They're ones that, well, I think that what it would signal to the people of China is that somebody sees, somebody acknowledges, not only do we see, but we're going to say something about it, and maybe there is hope that someone will do something about it. Understand, their government is doing this to them. So appealing to their government's not the answer. That their government is doing this by design, for profit. It's part of the plan. So there's no hope there. The hope has to come from outside.
And since you are the pioneer for introducing the bill in the United States, do you think the passing of bill in U.S. will also trigger more international efforts to combat the organ harvesting?
Well, we sure hope so. We don't want this issue to just, there's a report, and then, well, we assume the report's correct, but we can't do anything, and then the issue's over. Still happening every single day, and so we want to continue to focus on it, continue to highlight it, continue to have other people around the world say, well, we're doing business with China too. We can't allow this to happen.
Do you think more medical institutions in the United States should pay attention to this bill? Because many U.S. institutes are actually training Chinese transplant surgeons.
Yeah, well, they should. And again, if you're a U.S. institution involved in the training of Chinese practitioners in organ replacement and so on and so forth, by transposition, you could be involved in the illegal forced organ harvesting and therefore be sanctioned under this bill, be punished. And so ignorance is no excuse. You now know.
And do you think some of the transplant surgeons in China, when they see these, sanction list, or maybe their visa will be revoked, And so, what kind of impact will it do to the
Well, we
transplant
want
surgeon
to
community?
chill this industry in China, and we want to encourage, one way or the other, or any way possible, for those involved in it to speak up. Stop doing it. Speak up. Let the world know what you know.
Right. Thank you very much for setting this interview, and congratulations for your great effort. Can you say one last word? I mean, we're waiting for the maybe a corresponding bill from the Senate, right? Do
Right.
you have any word to talk about a potential Senate bill?
Well, we hope that we'll send this to the Senate, and the Senate can either take up this bill or have their own bill. But we would encourage anybody in the United States that's passionate about this issue, that cares about the issue, that wants to see forced organ harvesting by the Chinese Communist Party ended, to call your United States senator and urge them to either offer their own bill or urge their leadership to get this bill on the calendar, and let's get it passed. Bipartisan here in the House, so both sides, Democrats and Republicans, supported in the House. This is one of those things where people in America are looking for a win from two parties that oftentimes disagree on things. No one in America agrees with forced organ harvesting. So if that's the case, let's all agree to stop it. Let's all support the bill. Let's get a signature from the president after the bill is moved through the Senate.
This bill is the first binding commitment by Congress to take strong legal action against the persecution and forced organ harvesting of Falun Gong, making Falun Gong the centerpiece of legislation, an action long overdue after 25 years. The Falun Gong Protection Act imposes sanctions on those who participate in or facilitate the forced harvesting of organs in China.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.